Hi everyone, welcome back to ASX Market Watch. Thank you very much for stopping by. In fact, it's really good of you to check out the charts with me today. We're looking at all the indices around the world just to see where the world markets are heading, and if we were to believe that 3 out of 4 stocks follow the overall market, which way we should be trading in our overall trading as well. For instance, if the index is heading up, chances are most of the stocks within that industry are heading up as well, and that's the way that we should be trading in our individual trading as well. So that's just one way that I look at it. This is quite an exciting one today, guys, because looking at the All Ordinaries, just for starters, it's a really great thing, and one of the reasons that I do love my trend lines. If you don't know what trend lines are, it's a very simple tool. It's simply a line on a chart, really basic stuff that anyone could really do. But this is a daily chart of the All Ordinaries, and I just want you to see over the last couple of days. Now, that is pretty much exactly, and the tool is not the best. Might just get rid of it. But you can see there at that long-term trend line, the price has actually bounced off that long-term trend line and has started to rise. Now, we've had sideways movements for about 8 to 10 months previous to today, and at the moment, price is basically trying to find a reason to go up or down. Now, we've had a little bit of good economic data over the last week, and it's things that people have really started to latch onto. And people have also started to shrug off the bad news. Now, this is a really good sign when investors shrug off bad news. It means that price could be ready to rise again because people are ready to buy no matter what the news, and they sort of latch onto the good things as well. This is a long-term downtrend line. So this is basically, if we were to believe our trend line theory, where price will actually find support and resistance in the future using trend lines, it's very possible that we could have resistance at around 4,700 on the All Ordinaries and around the ASX Top 200. And immediately, if we were to look at our immediate surroundings, just a quick trend line here at about 4,600, and I'll just enlarge that a little bit. There we go. So this is our shorter term trend line here, and about 4,600 is our next goal, or yeah, about 4,600, pretty much exactly spot on the ball actually. So a close above that would be very happy days in the short term, and a close above 4,700 would be happier days in the long term as well. We did get an exit signal over the last probably 2 weeks ago. That hasn't come to fruition, and even on a longer term basis, if I just increase that, enlarge that a little bit there as well, we had our ABC correction or continuation pattern. It hasn't been able to break out of that pattern to continue down. It would have had to have closed literally below 4,200. We got a short-term sell signal which could have been on its way, but it hasn't so far. The market has really latched onto that good news. So we're still in that range. We're still in that sideways range. But if it breaks out of the 4,700, happy days to the upside. Next one, and a bit more exciting actually, is the FTSE. This is a daily chart of the FTSE, and again, just want to give you a technical view or a charting view, a chartist view of where the world is actually heading. And this one, the most exciting part about the FTSE is this is a weekly chart now. We've got our higher peak and higher trough on a weekly chart. So this is not only a stronger signal because it's based on a longer term time frame. It's also your traditional Dow Theory, which he uses a weekly chart. It's a traditional Dow Theory entry. So that's your higher peak and higher trough. And the FTSE is the first one to make that, which is good news for the FTSE. Again, there's still bad economic data coming out in Europe, but it seems to be being shrugged off by investors. And again, as I said, that is actually a good sign market-wise. It means that people basically have cash, they're ready to buy, and nothing can stop them, not even bad economic data. So they latch onto the good stuff. The next one, and again, guys, still in that range, still in that sideways range, looking at 5,600 odd as future resistance for the FTSE, and future support is that 5,000 level. Now, as I said, guys, last couple of weeks, that 5,000 level, massive support. Price cannot close below it for too long, and in fact something or someone is buying up or has been buying up at those prices, and now price is actually starting to rise with a bit more gusto. So that's happy days for the FTSE. Yes, again, we did get our short-term sell signal a couple of weeks ago, and again, the price is now starting to rise based on the few good things that have started to come out on the markets. We'll see where it goes. Again, still got resistance at 5,600, 5,700 on the FTSE. Next one is the Dow Jones. Jones. And again, just really quickly, just from a chartist's point of view, this blue line here is the support at 10,000. And again, same deal on the Dow Jones. Someone or something is buying up. Like, no one wants it to drop below 10,000 for too long. They want to keep it above that level, probably to stop stops from getting triggered, margin loans from getting triggered, all that sort of thing. It's a buyer's market if they can keep it above that level. And on a medium-term basis, we're looking at resistance in the future, probably at around 10,800. Now, if basically that's where it's heading, the market is heading up, and again, it did find support at the longer-term uptrend line right here. So last week we showed how it bounced off. It actually went for a second try this week as well. It tried to close below it again, could not do it. So that was right on that 10,000 level as well. So two of those things combined, bang, that's where it was. That was a pretty good deal, that one. So yeah, I think a fairly sure thing. Those two factors combined, and now, provided it can get past that resistance, it'll be really good for the Dow Jones, or good news for the Dow. Last but not least, guys, the Hang Seng. This is the daily chart as well. Very simple stuff again, so really, really simple stuff. Just wanted to keep it simple, but also powerful. This is the downtrend line, and as we were looking at over the last couple of weeks with the Hang Seng, we were looking at this sideways movement, which was a bit of a continuation pattern to the upside. Now, the Hang Seng, as we said, last week, we were looking for a lower peak and a lower trough. Now, it did make a lower peak, could not close below the previous trough, and that was because of our trend line here. So it had closed below the trend line, couldn't make a lower peak and a lower trough, and now the Hang Seng is starting to rise again. So if it breaks out of this range at about 22,000, we're looking at a probable 25 to 28,000 on the Hang Seng based on Elliott Wave projections. And I might actually just see if I can do a quick projection for you. This is still that daily chart. This is going to be very rough, guys, but you'll get the idea. And there it is. So yeah, this is your 61.8 extension of the previous move. That'd be 26,000. 75% would be 27,000, and if I just enlarge it a bit more, 100% of the previous move would be 30,000 on the Hang Seng. So that's what you'd be looking for based on that long-term continuation pattern. It's gone for about 12 months, literally 12 months. It's a continuation pattern. That means it's extremely strong. If it does break out to the upside, you'd be looking at a lot of happiness by trading the Hang Seng based on that particular pattern if it does break out to the upside. So a lot going on in the charts, and a lot going on in economics as well, actually. Like if you delve into a little bit on what people are expecting, for instance, US home sales was positive 5.2% instead of negative 1.3%. I think that's the thing that people are really latching onto at the moment. People are banking on a US home sales recovery, and if that happens, that'll be the second good thing that we'll be looking out for. The other good thing, of course, is that investors start to shrug off the bad news. These are the things that you really want to look out for when a new bull market is starting. There's just so much support, it's ridiculous. It's going to be very hard to break out to the downside, especially on the FTSE and on the Dow Jones, as I said. But again, thanks for stopping by, guys. Great to have you here. Hopefully, I'm banking on in the next couple of months we're going to have some extremely exciting stuff as price starts to move. And when it starts to move, that is when your trading starts to move as well, which is a lot more exciting for everyone involved, especially myself, because I love this stuff. It is good. And I'll see you next week. Other than that, happy trending. Bye for now.